part of your gas, baby. Can I bring you some remedy? You rock on your house for me and shout out your dreams on me. Will I ever cost that free? And maybe you know.
So when I posted on Facebook, my Facebook page, I just used the three movies that our guests is known with. I don't know all the rest, but somebody called me and said, "What are you doing with movies? I thought you were a business school." And I said, my good friend, is the economy stupid? It's the economy. Because the movie industry in Nigeria contributes close to 3% of Nigeria's GDP, earning close to $600 million to Nigeria's economy. That's how big it is. And for a single movie produced in Nigeria today, it employs minimum 100 people and up to sometimes 500 people for a movie. Where do you get that? Apart from, in this town, apart from say NASCO and Grand Street and the government, who employs that big number? So the movie industry is something that we in Just Business School think is important to pay attention to. And I want to quote from the World Bank. It says something about the movie industry in Nigeria. It's a very important quote. It says that the Nigerian movie industry is not just an entertainment maker, which many of us know it for, but it is a money maker. But more importantly, it's a vehicle to economic growth and development. Meaning that if we get it right, we can generate jobs and jobs and jobs in the movie industry. So, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Just Business School, I want to welcome you here today and to tell you that this is an enduring thing we've been doing. Over the years when we started Just Business School, we've been inviting people we think should be able to add value to the state in one way or the other. We started this series with inviting Sim Shagaya. Many of you were here, some of you were here. Sim came and showed us that it's possible for an ordinary Plateau boy to knock on Nigerian doors and beat it. That's ordinary for somebody from Plateau State to go up there and create a company worth the 1 billion naira, Conga.com, and sell it off and start another one again. That's the story. That was the story that we were all captivated with. We also came here and listened to Wibabua, another Jos boy who went to Hillcrest College, rose up the ranks, and today running one of the biggest companies in Nigeria from Lagos. There are so many of such people all over Nigeria. Today we have invited one more Jos boy, who has also from the scratch moved up to make an impact and bring to our sitting rooms, to our living rooms, movies that some of us cannot even stand up to go to the toilet, just to go to the bathroom. And when we come back, we say, what did he say? What did she say? That's the kind of thing that people are doing with Plateau State. And I think that it's important that we give our guests a big round of applause before they invite us. Thank you. I wouldn't want to say much because he doesn't talk about himself and everything else. But I think that my pride is the fact that he decided to come today. And he didn't take any single kobo as appearance fee. Thank you very much for that. Because in Nigeria today, you buy the star, they'll say, pay me my appearance fee. Yeah, but for the love of Jos, for the love of Plateau State, for the love of you guys, for the love of Just Business School, he came he paid all his expenses to come here. Thank you.
So every question I ask you today, if I had questions in my mind that I had not asked because I was polite, today I am your fireside chat. So be prepared. And thank you for making us proud. Thank you for being the elephant that doesn't forget its roots. Thank you for always finding yourself coming back home and carrying us along, basically. Yes, so let's just start right away. People say it's difficult to be a private individual in Jos and to succeed. We just think that we were made for the small pot that Jos is. How did you do it?
Wow. Good afternoon, everybody. Okay, if you pardon me, I would love to start with a little story and then make an announcement before we move on.
Sure.
Okay, so what a lot of you don't know is that as a struggling young man in this town, I had a dream and a vision of starting a barbecue suya joint. This was in 2002, 20 years ago, exactly had a dream and I wanted to start a suya joint. And the one person that I went to with my idea and the strategy of doing this was in the Gomos.
Wow.
Yes. I went to him with a not so smart business plan, but the idea was there. And the man looked at me and for some reason felt, this young man, you want to sell suya? Okay, that's different. You know, and after a couple of conversations, my friends are here, the witness is Monica, Habila, Fashaga, and then they decided to fund the project with 60,000 naira.
Wow.
Yes, in 2002, he gave me a loan of 60,000 naira. Nobody else can have that. And so I took this 60,000 naira, and generally, I wanted to start a suya joint. How many of you know SV Garden, opposite Koke Records? Have you ever noticed close to the tree, there's one metal structure that looks like a tent?
Yes.
That was supposed to be the suya joint. So I went to Mrs. White's here, and we had a conversation, and she gave me the spot. So the idea was the suya will be there, and then you go up to the platform of the tree and you can eat it. I had the vision, I had the dream and everything, but I was such a horrible and a terrible businessman. The idea ended up with the metal structure, and that was it. 60,000 naira disappeared. The suya business did not start. This man did not see me for years. Because just after that, I left this town, went to Abuja with my senior brother Monica, because he is also here, to start off, as just to find my food. So I left Jos, and I never repaid the 60,000 naira. The suya never happened. Never spoke to this man for years until I remember a couple of days we met somewhere, and then the last time I heard from him was when he called me to come for this event. You guys don't understand what. But when I saw the call, my heart skipped. Because I started thinking, maybe it is like calculating the interest. 60,000 naira. But he called me and in the most humble way said to me, I'm proud of who you've become. And I want you to come to Jos and have a conversation about your story. And he didn't even mention, I'm not sure even if you remember, I don't know. But he didn't even mention this suya, nothing. He didn't say, he just wanted me to come down and have a conversation. And I felt so proud that despite everything, he still saw beyond that and still decided and recognized that I had done something worthy of the Jos Business School, worthy of him to ask me to come down. And for me, nothing would have stopped me from coming here except God. There was nothing that was going to stop me from coming here. And so it's I keep thinking, yesterday I was having a conversation with some people and I said, I really believe that if I had started that suya joint, I probably would have become the biggest suya seller in this country now. Because for me, it really wasn't about the idea or the business, it was about my personality and how I have resolved to be the best in what I do. So if I'd gone into suya, I probably would have had chains of suya joints in this country. Maybe abroad, I would probably be doing well. And they would have called me here to come and talk about my suya business. But I went into media and filmmaking, and I'm glad that I'm here today. So, sir, in honor of what you've done for me, and sitting down here, I want to make a special announcement that we are going to start, or we're going to have a project called the Ezekiel Gomos Film Initiative. Yes. This year, two filmmakers from Jos, we're going to award 1 million naira to these two filmmakers. First of all, 500,000 naira in value of equipment, editing and everything, and another 500,000 naira to make a short film. So two people are going to spend the 1 million naira. They're going to make a short film. We're going to be part of the process. We're going to help you drive it, and we're going to take it out there to the platforms that we want to pay attention to. We're going to go to all the film festivals. We're going to make sure. So I'm back what has been done to me. So we're going to work in collaboration with him and the Business School, so somebody can have the opportunity to, make that dream come true. So please look out for the announcement. We'll work out the details, and then you guys will see. So thank you very much, sir, for investing in my life, and I really, really appreciate that. And I'll quickly just say thank you to so many other people that are here. My professor is here, Professor Osai, one of my lecturers from this school. Please put your hands together for me. Thank you. My good friends, I'm all recognized, and everybody that I know here, so we can start.
Alright,
so Professor again.
Yes. How did you make it? How did you do it?
So the thing about me wasn't that I had this thought process. I wasn't one of those people that had a vision board I didn't have that mindset where I had an agenda of what I was going to do in my life. As a matter of fact, by the time I left high school in 1991 as a student, I had no idea what I wanted to do in life. Trust me, because my parents had thrown the curveball in my TSS 3. I was an art student. And my mom used to work with the Ministry of Education, and somehow she felt, because she could do it, she removed me from Tato College and brought me to science school too. As if she wanted her son to be part of the,
So you became a science student?
So I went to science school too. And I'm saying this with every pride, but don't be like me. I left science school in 1991. The third to the last person in the entire I'm serious. We were quite like 50 something, almost 60 something in ASEC. I was down the last division. I know that for a fact because my best friend, Halita, graduated top of the class with 9 distinctions, including alumnus. Yes, and we were like this, 5 and 6. We were in the same room, we shared the same food, everything we were doing together, but I was bottom and he was. So trust me, when you graduate with that kind of results, you're not thinking you want to be a medical doctor, engineer, and so it pretty much was, let's be going, we see where this will take us to, and when I found, so I was just a young man in Jos, pretty much taking advantage of what Jos was providing. I remember a magazine asked me a question one time, and they asked me, why is it that you guys make it from Jos? I said to him, and I said, maybe it's because of the sense of community that we have in Jos. There is something about how, yes, there's a sense of community, there's something about how we collaborate to do things. And a lot of times we pick from each other, and before you know it, there's this knowledge. I mean, I had so many support systems, people who were around me and we could share ideas and create. And Jos is a cosmopolitan town. And so, as a creative person, we normally would not create for a one-track mind. We created for an audience because everybody was here. So if we were creative, we wanted to sing a song that everybody would understand. Unlike maybe somebody who lived in the background, who would probably just come out with that's pretty much what they're probably used to. So it's a one-track mind because it's, what Jos was. And so for me, I had, and then how Jos was just such a laid-back, chill place. You could think and you could process, I had the advantage of that. And I think that based on that, it was something that I constantly knew that I had the capacity and the potential to be able to make it. And so almost everything that built me or made me become who I am, I paid attention to so many people here. I mean, Mandazi, who remembers Mandazi? Late Mandazi is probably one of my heroes and mentors. Not that I met him, I never met him, but because he was talking about productions like Behind the Clouds, all those other things that he was doing when he was here at the Epitome Productions, I think that was the name of his company. I paid attention to what he was doing, and then, of course, like I said, with the creative process and how we did things in Jos, I was such a confident young man. I wasn't intimidated by anything. That was something that prepared me. Because I could easily walk in anywhere and easily defend whatever it was. I was such a creative head. I was enter anywhere with people, doing creative things. I remember there used to be, I can't remember what it's called. They used to do it in Makati. It was like a gathering of what do you call them? I forgot. But I used to go there. I had nothing about what they were doing, but I just go there and hang out. So I gave myself to to what jobs could offer in terms of the creative process. And I was also contributing because we were organizing concerts like Reading Out of Town, Reading in the Wild, I was in the church choir, so creative wise, those were kind of the process. So that was what I was doing, I was building it. And trust me, there's so many of you sitting down here that you're going through the same process. Just know that those are asthmas that you're going to use down the line. Do not take it for granted. For everything that Josh is preparing you for now, it is when you go to the place where you're supposed to exhibit it, you begin to realize, oh, this thing is, I remember the first time I went to, so how I made it out of Josh. I got to a point where I was so saturated with everything that I knew. The next day I started feeling like I needed to step out of the comfort zone. Because trust me, Josh is a comfort zone. It makes you relax. A city where you stop a taxi, the taxi will revise and come and meet you. And then you enter. You have like 200 naira, you can buy and eat correct food. When you're looking for a house with 50,000 naira, or I heard this days that much. I mean, those days you could pay rent and don't worry. If you were hungry and you were stressed, all you need to do is turn left with somebody that can support you. It has that, but don't get it twisted. That is something that also prepares you for the bigger. It prepares you for the bigger world, and that prepared me. And so when my big brother Polycarp was ready to leave Jos, yes, okay. No, I'm sure they can hear me. You can hear me, huh?
Yes.
So when my big brother Polycarp was ready to leave Jos, it was time for me to go. I knew I needed to step out because I had so much I wanted to give. And at that point, there was no stopping me because I was already ready, to step out of this place. At that time, I shot a TV serial with 5,000 naira.
Wow.
Yes, it was called Girls Quarters. It was a variety show that had 3 presenters, and we shot the pilot with 5,000 naira with a camcorder. We're very, very ambitious. We wanted to do this. It was something that we really wanted to do. So by the time I was ready to leave Jos, I knew I had been equipped, And don't forget also that at that time I was ready because in terms of my personality, growing up in this town made me humble. Growing up in this town gave me a sense of identity. Growing up here made me believe I could do anything. Growing up here made me very spiritual because, of course, those were things that I was prepared for. And so when I was ready to go, I knew I was ready for the bigger world. So, in order to encourage everybody here, if you're going through most of the things that I've mentioned here, just know that you're going through something good. And very soon, those things will work out for you best. So, when it was time to go to Abuja, I took off from my brother Polycarp, went to Abuja, and that was where pretty much everything started, in terms of moving up to the ladder. So, just yes had the preparation. It was like a cradle where I was nurtured to a point when I was ready to go out to the outside world. Just threw me to the outside world. And I've never looked at it, you always come back home just to see what's happening. Today, a prophet has been recognized at home. And I feel very, very, very honored. Yeah.
Sorry, I said hallelujah. I couldn't help it, it just came out, yes. So how long ago, when was the transition to Abuja?
Oh, this was...
Do you remember the year?
Yeah, this was 2002, 2003.
2005.
Yeah, it was about 2005.
Okay, 2005, 2006.
This was when I really moved.
Yes. And when would you say from leaving just from the Abuja time to when you leave, to use common terminology, how long was it?
I think that everything happened for me when I turned 40.
Okay.
And this was, so I'll be 48 this year. This was like 8 years ago. Yes, I'm not young. So this was like 8 years ago when, so 8 years ago, this was when I turned 40. Oh, okay, now, in terms of my personal achievement, this was when I turned 40. I just got back from the New York Film Academy in California, in New York. I did both California and New York. And when I came back, I was very equipped again in terms of being a film producer. And I remember that I'd already done this job with Mo Abudu. I had produced Moment to Mo, and I did the TV series for her comment and Diamond. So at that time, I already had gone into the industry, but I was just so when I came back in conversation with my wife in the living room. We were just tired of what was happening in the industry. And I said to her, I said, okay, for anybody to pay attention to what we're doing, we have to do something that will shake the industry. We knew that Bollywood was ready for a new revolution. And so we created sort of the Caliphate in 30 minutes. And very yes, between that conversation and when I put together a pitch board, it was 30 minutes. And then yes, it was 30 minutes. Instantly an idea came. It was an idea about putting the models in mainstream television because at that time it wasn't visible. The only thing you saw on mainstream television at that time was an Aboki that's selling Indomie or the opening the gate. You hardly heard names like Dinka, Gowon, Kemwa. You never heard those names. So you were always bombarded with Yoruba, Igbo. Nothing wrong with that, but it was pretty much what the producers wanted. And so sort of the Caliphate idea came. And at this point, I already had a relationship with Moabu. And I sent her a mail that night. Immediately I finished the pitch board, I sent it to her. It didn't take her 10 minutes and she replied back.
Wow.
And she said, Dimbo, this is a brilliant idea. Let's do 2 seasons of this.
Wow.
Wow, we couldn't believe it. We couldn't believe it. And at this point, so we were so hungry, we wanted to go out there and show what we wanted. She wanted an entire, I want this project myself. I said, no problem. What we're looking for is to be out there. And so we were not trying to drag any rights, money, anything. That was what was even behind my head. I wasn't thinking that. And we agreed on the budget. At that time, I wasn't even sure if the budget was going to be enough. I just knew that we needed to do this. And that was how Source of the Caliphate happened. And when it aired, the reception was unbelievable. I'm sure some of you remember when that happened. And so that was when the big break happened. And the moment that happened, people started paying attention. Suddenly I got a call from somebody who said, we just got off a meeting from Multi-Choice Africa Magic. And they were screaming in the creative room and shouting, how did we miss also the Caliphate? Why didn't it come to us? And the guy said that he was really proud that he knew me. And the fear that he didn't tell them that he knew me because they would have crucified him. And they would have said, then why did you bring this man to us? At that moment I knew that something was about to happen. Because we knew that we had written and we had produced a show. And everybody was really interested. So I would say that, not to even put a timeline to it, because that happened at any time, but it was almost, when I left Jos, there was still a prepping season, from 2005 to 2015, now like 10 years, and that, so there was a lot of prepping, but I got married, still broke, I had to do the little, I was there serving other people, I was really giving my all to the industry. I contributed a lot to, I was running Justify, trying to bring to Jos. It was my own way of giving back to Jos. We wanted to give attention to what was happening in Jos, and we did some collaborations with MI, Jesse Jacks, all the big people that started from Jos. So I was pushing that while I was waiting for the big break. So let's just say it was just.
I don't think it was 10 years. I think from what you say, you've been busy.
Well, I've been busy. So
You had been busy. Because I know you personally, I remember there was Konga.
Yes.
I remember that Mo, but just moving and knowing that you were coming from the Just ecosystem and you were working with Mo was a big deal for many of us. So you see why I say that he's a bulldozer, right? One morning I wake up, it's a Saturday morning, at 8 a.m. I put up the data on my phone and then I see that he has chatted me and said, send a pitch. And that was how I didn't have to do all of this. I didn't have to leave Just, I didn't even have to leave my bedroom. He pulled me into a production and I always tell him thank you.
You're welcome.
It's always thank you so very much. All because you made me go out there. So let's talk about Just. Just is close to your heart. Just is really close to your heart. It shows. What would you say? You lived in Jos, you left here in 2002? Five, 17 years ago. So, can you tell us what you think about Jos 20 years ago and now in terms of economic development, economic achievement, the business climate? Now you can look at Jos with the eyes of an outsider and also an insider. What do you see?
Wow. So a lot of you don't know that I'm actually from National State. So people don't know that because I'm always hiding Jos.
We can give you a look at
Yes, every time people ask me where I'm from, I just tell them I'm from Jos because I don't want to go to the whole narrative of I'm from somewhere else. that when we were growing up here, none of us were not business savvy, business because that is why what he has been doing for all these years really has helped in developing the business mindset of, because we all grew up just living and just moving. You know, I keep saying this thing. Every time I hire a person from Jos, I always have a problem with having a conversation about money with these people.
Tell them.
Yes. We do not know how to do the money talk. The first thing a negotiator will ask me, even before they know the brief is what talk money. First thing, I know that because I've had so many people in the last how many years. We do not know how to do the money talk. Even me, till today as a producer, do you understand? A lot of times I am lazy in having the money conversation. Once I'm comfortable with it, I don't even push for it. Let me just do what I can do with what I have. And it is a problem that we have. And so, growing up, a lot of us were business savvy enough, you know, to want to develop some skills on the, even if we were. I remember that I was such a bad businessman. At some point, I had a canteen next to my house. I was selling really gari and everything. I ended up eating the supply. Never get high on the whole supply. It was a typical just mentality. It was just a mindset. We were all horrible business people. And if you check, you will notice that most of the people that were making it in business were people who came to settle here, or people who just moved in and found it. Most of the people that were having streets and shops and all this, if you check them, they weren't people from here. It's either they came here or something happened and they lived there. You know? And so, you know, going through all of that process, we really didn't look at it like, oh, the economic strength of jobs. We were more like, we didn't trust me. I Shara. I know Shara, and he has to sit down and not trust that God will do the miracle. You know? But if I'm going to compare those days and now, I think that there is a disruptive generation of people who are beginning to say to themselves, look, we can do this thing. Because I have seen young people on social media who are engaging in business conversations with the trade of the things that they're selling. It's becoming more, they're becoming more business savvy now. There is a room full of young people who are coming to hear what I have to say. It means that there is a growing interest in what is happening in the industry. If you check and you will see that there are more businesses that have sprung up in this town than before now. There are more drinking joints, you know, which is part of the business. Do you understand? You know, there are small startups that have started, but I know that there are small, what do you call it, networking hubs in this town where they're building people who can, you know. And so it looks like, for some reason, there hasn't been, maybe because I've not been around, I haven't had a lot of conversation about salary, the government salary. Because it used to be a thing, every Monday was a thing. Like every family was expecting the salary to come. Because like almost everybody depended on it. But it's almost like it's not a conversation these days. Forgive me if I'm wrong, you know, but it seems that people are more independent in terms of the financial status of what they're so it can be better. Trust me. I know that it's not the best. I've seen a couple of photography studios. I've seen a couple of filmmakers who come from Jos. You know, they're still coming from here. You know, so if I will compare in terms of what it used to be and what it is now, it used to be, that there was space for people, and those who were in that space succeeded somehow because there wasn't competition. But it looks like there is more competition now. There are more people contending for attention from customers. So, if I am right, sir, or if I'm right, I would say that the economy, of practice or jobs has improved. If that is something to go by, because I don't know what the statistics are, but I know that there are more business savvy young people. There are more business people, you know, opening up and trying to make a living in jobs. So that's a good thing. I think so.
Okay, and thank you for noting that. I think every just young entrepreneur right now just deserves a round of applause. You're doing amazing things. I think that's so on the microeconomic level, you have picked up that there's a lot of improvement. Absolutely. What do you think about the state as a state?
So the thing is that the pain for me every day is that the potential of Plateau State has not been exploited. This state is massive in terms of the capacity, the tourism capacity that can happen in this state is unbelievable. I mean, there are events that can happen in this state that can be of international revenue. Yes, because we have the weather. Do you understand? I mean, is it the space that we have the space? If we can only find activities that we can put around the Harmattan period, when it is cold or whatever during the rain, whatever it is. I mean, there's so many sites that you can turn into camping sites where people can come from all over the world. If only the government or the people who are responsible can look into it. And even the young people, the conversation that I had with some people the other day is that why are filmmakers not coming to just to make movies?
Okay.
I mean, I thought about this one time and I said, I had a conversation with somebody who wanted me to do a project. I begged and I said, I want to do this in Jos. I said, why? That Jos is not true. I said, no, let me explain to you something. There is a film school in Jos. There's a TV Connect in Jos. So if you're looking for interns and hands that can work on a production for a reduced fee, that is the place to start. Yes. I mean, there's people like I can ask students for minimum. None of the people that worked with me has collected minimum wage before.
Oh, yes.
The least I have paid a crew member is 100,000 naira. Yes, the least I have paid a crew member is 100,000 naira. Those are people who are running out to carry things. So imagine if I was going to do a production in Jos and the students that I can pay 50,000 naira monthly. You think they will not jump on the job? That's an opportunity. I will let talk about it. I'm speaking now as somebody who has the experience. And you're not even talking about the money, you're talking about the experience that he is going to pick from the process. Because like a whole Halita season, it's 5 months of shoot. We did almost a year of shoot for 260 episodes of Halita. Now imagine you earning 50,000 naira, you're still going to school and you're getting the experience on set. That's massive. And the only way I can come here is if I know that when I get here, I get all the support that I can get. If state will say, oh, you're going to shoot the next season of this, or you have this new series, can you come and do it in Jos? We will support you in a way. First of all, okay, how do we cut down your cost? There are countries in this world that give out rebates to filmmakers. South Africa does that. So they attract big-time producers because if they have a budget of $2 billion, if they go to South Africa, there's a 30% discount that they get. So that cuts out the cost. There are so many structures that we can put here that filmmakers like me will come to Jos. Trust me, it's going to happen. One of these days I'm definitely going to do that. But for now, it's more convenient for where I am because I do not see how the structure works. As a matter of fact, the first thing they say to an actor is, oh, we're going to have to come to Jos to do it. The first thing they're going to ask, is Jos peaceful? Because we have not cleaned up that image yet. We haven't. We have not come into the cyberspace to clean up Jos. Go and Google Jos right now. The only thing you see is blood, 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 blood. So if anybody had anything to invest in Plateau State, the person is not thinking, my money. Trust me, I had a conversation with somebody recently about starting up a studio in this town, and the first thing the person said to me, where are you going to put the studio that I have started no money? Now I'm not even telling you guys, that was the first thing they said. So there's a responsibility for those who are responsible for this thing to go and say, can we hire experts to go into the cyberspace and make sure that things are suppressed? I think people do that. Find a way to suppress some of this information. Or just fill the cyberspace with so many beautiful information about jobs. So that when you click jobs, at least you're going to see something about jobs that says jobs is peaceful, jobs is calm. If you come here, there's so much that can happen.
Oh, yes.
So we need to do that. So that's even from the side of government. For people who are into entrepreneurship, I think that there's so much that we can do. It's not everybody that will be a makeup artist.
Great.
You cannot all be makeup artists. How many people do the makeup daily? And everybody is a makeup artist. There are so many things that you can do. Diversified things that you can do. It can be small. I have a friend, I eat acha, and that's the only acha that I buy. The acha that Umar has decided to package and say, I don't buy acha. As a matter of fact, I have exported that acha all the way to Brunei, where my family stays. I have exported that acha to London, we sent it to some people because people are asking for it because it's well packaged. maybe like say 12 to like 6 a.m. And sometimes I get one with the that process. I can just start and go to the kitchen, quickly do a big attack. I'm just saying, that's just something that somebody can do. There's so many things that we can do to improve the economy as it is. But then you have to look, because what is an entrepreneur? In my own simple layman understanding, is somebody who sees a problem and offers a solution. That's a simple meaning of what an entrepreneur is. So you have to look at where the problem is. One of the things that blew my mind about entrepreneurship was how it was said that the people who created viruses were the same people who created the software that hands you against the virus. So they created a problem for them, they gave the solution. But they're using two ways. So you need to sit down and say to yourself, what is the problem? The reason why I stand out and see, nobody comes to Northern Nigeria to do a production without consulting me. Not because I insist on that, no, just because they have seen my track record. You know why? Because at the point when I decided I was going to go into this thing, the first thing that came to my mind is, so where is the problem? And I realized that mainstream, these stories from around here were not told in mainstream television. And that was the problem. And so I decided I was going to tell the stories. The whole idea about Halita is simply about the middle belt. African Magic called me for a meeting and they said, oh, we want you to do a show. You know how, in Lagos, they think that North is everybody's house. So, Busala called me and I go to Lagos and she said to me, oh, I want to do another show. The first thing I said to her is, I'm not going to do another source of the Caliphate. She said, no, we don't want you to do another source of the Caliphate. I said, fantastic. But if you want me to do this show in Abuja, I'm going to tell the story in the middle belt. That's North Central. I like calling it middle belt because the North doesn't. I don't mean that's how I see it. So I told her that I was going to do a story in the middle belt because there is richness and a lot of diversity in the middle belt and it's beautiful. And so she said to me, okay, I think I like where you're going with this. So if you check the show, you find out that we have characters from everywhere, from Benue, Plateau, Niger, everywhere. Till today, even the new one called the Rishantes, I have characters from around the middle belt. So you're hearing names that are very close to Oskaza, all those names, they're all Kaduna, Plateau names, Rumlat, which is from Shaddam. Do you understand? There's Darren, you understand that, there's Kutus. Do you understand? All of these are names that I decided, and suddenly, they become mainstream names, and now everybody is copying. You see Dinka here, it suddenly became something. So I found a problem, created a solution for it, and now I'm sitting on it and I'm consolidating on it. Like, so anybody that's coming to look for me, they're looking for me. They will say, oh, we have this story that we want it to be said that they're called Dimbo. That's how I want it. So you must look for where the problem is. What are people looking for? What is the demand? What is it that the moment you start selling, everybody is jumping on it? That is the problem. If you find it and you find a solution to it, you solve the problem. You will sit down and you will be shocked how far it will go. So don't jump on what everybody else is doing, or you might have the calling. I gave an example one time and I said, if I was going to start Akara, I will not do the normal Akara that you know. I will research on how I can spice my oil. Are there spices that can make the oil smell better? By the time I put hunters who buy Atiki,
Who just got hungry?
No, some intermediates. Try something inside. Maybe put a little bit of raisins. I don't know. It might not. You're treating like you want sweet somewhere. That makes it different. People will not start looking for your own akara because they like it, because there is an attempt. It's different from what the other person is doing. So even if you're going to do something that somebody is doing, you can think differently. When we were going to go into production, I said to myself, I am going to be one of the top producers in this country. And the one thing that I said I was going to put out there, and this is now me speaking as a Christian and a born again, I'll bring that piece. Excellence is my act of worship. I say this and people laugh. I think that my wife is the spiritual head in my house. Don't laugh. Because my wife can kabash from 12 to 6 a.m. And every time she opens her mouth, she's not repeating words. She is excellent with remembering what to say to God. She can do 6 hours and say different things to God. Me, in 2 minutes, I have exhausted my vocabulary of what to say to God. Mungaba Adon, I Yangaba, you know that I can say, yes, you can, I mean, that probably me. But you see me, everything I do, and because it is going to go out there, and I know that people are going to make reference to it, I always say to myself, excellence is the word. I have to put in the best. So if I have the budget, oh, Fashion is here. Fashion is our head of accounts. Fashion is here and he knows me. The problem that he has with me is that I have no limit when it comes to spending on projects. He is always fighting me. You were going to cross him and say, oh, Fashion, we have the budget for you. He said, hey, well, you have to. So he's always been his backers, they're trying to limit me. But me, I go all out. Why? Because at the end of the day, my pride is to sit back and see that this thing was done well. And people will talk about it. That makes me happy.
As a master, we can share the grace and go. But I need to connect it off first. Very important. So I think you've covered a lot about what the government can do, which was my next question. At least you talked about two major things: the PR and the security.
Absolutely.
Yes, I mean there are more things that you would say. So let's talk about people. Let's talk about young people.
Yeah.
Yes. If I'm a young person in just who wants to be a creative, okay, must I go to Lagos?
No, you don't have to go to Lagos.
Okay.
Let me try and explain.
Yes, please.
You see, you guys have the biggest advantage and opportunity ever. Because with the click of a button on Instagram, the whole world will see what you're doing. I don't understand if you guys understand how important that is. There are so many people on TikTok. I know that you guys know what I'm talking about. There are so many people on Facebook. There are so many things that you can sell on social media right now. You don't have to leave your bedroom. Peppa is a writer. All she has to do is sit down in her room and write an episode of Halita. She writes 20 and money hits her account in her room with the computer. No matter what, remember the day your computer couldn't come on?
Oh yes.
The way she panicked because in her mind, this is my life. With a computer in the comfort of your house, as a writer, I met her on social media. I didn't know I knew her, but her writing was always on social media, and that's when I called her.
Yes.
Most of the writers that I've worked with are people who I had to call from somewhere to come and write. They weren't professional, but within the process, they learned how to do this thing. So you don't have to leave Jos, so to say, for you to make it. No, before now, we had to leave Jos because there wasn't all of this opportunity. So if you had to make it, they needed to see you physically. So we had to leave the Jos and go to the Abuja before going to Lagos. I remember when I told my wife we were leaving Lagos. She said, I'm Lagos. I said, okay, me, I'm happy, but me, I'm tired of. And the reason was that I had this 206 that was manual. I didn't have AC. Please picture me in Lagos traffic. Can you guys picture me in Lagos traffic? It's the most dangerous thing you do. First of all, it's because the groups in Lagos will slap you through that window and collect your phone. That's the first thing that you expose yourself to. And then secondly, it was a manual drive. So you know how you're pushing gear, you're shifting. And the Lagos traffic just moves a bit. So you enter gear and come back and release it before you move again. That was the problem. And then they hit. One day I was driving back, so I walked to Konga, and I was driving back home, and then I said to myself, no, I can't do this Lagos thing. I'm getting out of here. And then somebody said to me, well, if you leave this Lagos, they will forget about you. I said, look, if I am good at what I do, they will look for me. Ladies and gentlemen, they are looking for me till today. And I'm not even posting, I'm telling you so that you know that it doesn't matter where you are. It is about the element and the grit that you can produce. It is about your capacity. And that's the thing that we lack every day. Developing. You see me, I learn every day. Every day I learn. Why? Because you will not catch me sleeping when we are talking things, professional things. No, you won't catch me. It's not possible. I can sit down and have a conversation with anybody in the film industry in this world. Why? Because I make sure that I am well informed in terms of my craft, in terms of the knowledge of the industry, everything that I need to, I improve myself daily. So I can be in my house, as a matter of fact. In my house, I have an office. Apart from the production house that we have, I have an office and I function from my house. of writing 2 different new shows, and I'm doing it in my house. I didn't have to leave. I didn't have to go to Lagos to meet anybody.
Can we, I like the pregnant pause. Can we just,
So, I get it. It has its own vibe. You know, it has this chill vibe. You can't take it away from George. It's the way it is wired. It's the way it's structured. But it is also an advantage that you have.
Yes.
Because what you have as a writer against somebody who works in Lagos is the cool, calm, collected setup where you can stay in your house and function. As a matter of fact, you get out of the delivery, you can walk and climb one stone and sit down. Breathe the other book, I only see Yashika before you know you're writing. No, that's the advantage that you have. I mostly don't hire writers from Lagos. Why? It's because they're doing probably 3 different projects at the same time. Do you understand? They are distracted because he's in traffic going to work. Beep, 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 beep. So the man is charged. He goes back home and it is rage all over. And so a love scene that is supposed to write where the man is giving words, you just hear some harsh words coming out. But don't blame him. That's the thing that's in his head. When you see you people in Jos, you have the advantage where you can think, even if you're tired, you take a walk.
Take a walk.
Take a walk. And you might just see a tree with apple. Or you're walking, you see people selling carrots or hunting, which is one of my favorites. You buy some, but you feel that when you come back. You know, nobody's stressing you, nobody's knocking down your door to collect your phone or anything. You're peaceful. Trust me, John has the best setup for any creative mind. That is a fact.
Thank you. Last question. Thank you, Mr. We are going to open the floor for a few questions. So I'm just going to ask you the last question from here, and then we'll just hear everyone else who has a question for you. As someone who has won a number of awards, and by the way, congratulations, all the awards are still falling. Yes. Funny, when I watched Sons of the Caliphate, I watched it on Netflix because I didn't have DSTV in my house back in the day when it was showing. And I binge watched for like 2 days, and I didn't feel guilty. So yes, awesome work, excellent work that you've done. You've won a number of awards, you're still winning them. And we're totally proud of you. So if I ask you, what are the 2 competencies, just 2 key competencies you think is a must for any young person or anybody? You at 40, that means that you can't get too old for this thing. What are the 2 key competencies that you think people must have to succeed?
Excellence and integrity.
Oh, wow.
You can't rule out those 2.
Yes.
Excellence and integrity.
Integrity.
As a business person, you want to be trusted.
Yes.
You want people to believe that when you say I'm going to do A plus A, they know that you're going to do it. You have to create that mentality. It's a reputation that you cannot run away from. In the since we started Sons of the Caliphate, our production company has had to handle in the excess of 1 billion naira in terms of production value.
Oh, yes.
Nobody will give you that kind of money if they don't believe in you. We just got commissioned for the 2nd season of the Rishantes.
Oh, yes.
They won't come and call you for a 2nd season if they didn't believe
Please
that.
clap for that. And you're clapping because when you get a commission, I get a commission.
Nobody will trust you with anything if they don't believe you. And that's where your integrity comes in. There have been so many stories about how I confess that he gave me 60,000 naira. But I have to learn a lesson after that, because the truth is that if I come back to him days later and I say, give me another 60,000 naira, bulala, they will have. But it was a mentality, and it was something that I had to build. Because what it meant is that people would trust you with their money. I mean, the financial system with multi-choice is controlled from South Africa. For every project, we have a special account for each project that we do for multi-choice, and they have access to the account. They can wake up one day and decide to poke you. In the middle of nowhere, auditors will come and meet you on site and say to you, we're here to do what you see, and you know what I'm talking about. And if you cannot account for things, then it becomes a problem. Nobody will trust you. And trust me, these guys will sack you without any problem. They will instantly sack you.
Yes.
And so integrity in terms of handling this, and for somebody like me, it takes a lot of money to make these productions, you know. And so if you cannot account for them, then it's a problem for people. Because the truth is that in this industry, we also survive on referrals. Oh, when you looking for somebody to do this, oh, tipo. And then they'll call you and say, oh, they've said so much about you, okay, we're here, we want you to do da. You know. I have worked in NGOs, and if you know NGOs and the way they don't see, if you want to do any work in NGO and you want money for them, please go and let them type. If you're the one that talk people's money, don't go. Because they will put you in trouble. Because the way they do it. So, for me, when you say, one of my mentors, Daddy Kuri, taught me something in business, and he says, always under promise and over deliver. It is a business sense that I have. So I have a conversation with a client, and we have a conversation about what is expected of me. In my head, I'm looking at this person, and don't worry, by the time I'm done with you, you will come back. So we talked about, let's say, we talked about how I'm going to only provide this, you know, and it is white. This was what I agreed on, and they paid me money for it. By the time I do this, I probably do some bling on it and make it look. By the time you see it, you're like, wow, we weren't expecting all this extra that came. And the person is saying, you know, this man is somebody that we can always work with. That is excellence in itself. When you say you're going to do something, execute it to the best of your ability. Because it will not kill you. It is just a moment of your life that you require to put everything, 110%. So they call you to be a production manager, or they call you to be a costumier in a production. All you have to do is, for those 25 days that you're working, leave everything and focus on those 25 days. Deliver to the best of your ability. That is excellence.
Thank you. Excellence, what you do, integrity, who you are.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Integrity, your personality is something that you must. If not, I will not trust you with my money.
Okay, thank you so very much. Please can we appreciate him? Thank you.
Just a story about Dimbo. When he said he left Jos for Abuja, we left for Abuja together to start up Massive Entertainment. Now, you will not understand why and how the name Massive Entertainment came about. Dimbo, I used to be into telecoms, Technostar, if you know the shop that used to tell in France. So I asked Dimbo to do a jingle. We were living in the same house, and there was an addition to be made, and he said the queue is long at the studio, Panam studio. So I said, wow, then that means there is a lot of money. If they are big queue. Remember, that was for that. So, yes, so when he was doing that, he was actually shooting, he was doing a music video for Larry. So we're in the sitting room, and Lex Sadiq Daba was with us. And that was how we discussed about, we can go into media. I left Mali. So thinking business came into being. And so came up with a list of equipment for studios. And I traveled out. So I sat on my own, went on the net. So I came up with a large set of equipment. So Dimbo now said, these equipment are not meant for just. Honestly, because it was so like that studio, it was in Abuja, and nobody had it in I don't think in Nigeria, because Cobams wanted to just lease the studio for a year. Now, cut the story short, why I'm saying this was, even when I came up with the equipment, this is where Dimbo comes in. I never had a name for that media outfit, because it was something that I just jumped into it. So I had the equipment, everything was on ground, but no company name. So we just woke up one morning with Dimbo. He had this creative book. And I'm looking for that book, because that was where I got the name of my company, called Massive Entertainment. I just wanted a company that the logo will have a design of just 2 initials. So I was checking his creative book, and I saw a lot of creative thoughts, what he was jotting down, writing them. Then I saw the topic of one, it had the name Massive in it. And I said, oh, Dimbo, I found a company name out of your creative book. And I said, I will call it Massive Entertainment. And that was, so I'm telling you that out of his creative thoughts, I too can. So that is, you remember he mentioned something like, you don't create for a single thought, you create for others. That was why I said I must say something about that. Because the name of my company was derived from his creative thought. Honestly. And so we moved to Abuja, started Massive Entertainment. He was a creative director. And since, sorry, sir, give me, can I add some few seconds to add this, please? Okay. So, because it's a confession day also. Yes, to Dimbo. Sometimes we businessmen, entrepreneurs, we don't listen. You think because you know it all. There were little advices that Dimbo gave me, and I wished them away. And I need to apologize to you, Dimbo. Wow. One instance, yes, I need to. One instance was, my studio was all about, oh, let the money for the studio come in. Jesse Jax was the sound engineer. He used to produce, so MI comes in, then Ice Prince, they would just walk into the studio, and he wasn't in, like, it was MI who was trying to, so Jesse Jax was producing. And they'll bring their friends and do some productions, and then I'll say, are those studio sessions paid for? Dimbo will say, no, allow them, this is creativity. These guys will be big one day. And I said, Dimbo, I don't want to hear that. Those studio sessions must be paid for. When Dimbo went and asked them, please guys, next time make sure the studio sessions are paid for. If not, don't be inviting people anyhow. But where are those guys today? So I'm sorry, Dimbo, I didn't listen to you. I'm sorry. There's so much to talk about Dimbo because we lived together. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. That was inspiring. That was good also. Very much. Okay, I'll just give Professor Osai just 1 minute also. Please get ready with your questions.
Afternoon or evening? Good afternoon. Actually, decided to come out here and expose this young man. Alright, he happened to be one of the 5,000 students I've graduated in 24 years. Wow. Dimbo was very, very unserious. Yes. Alright? He used to miss my lectures. Alright, so one day I called him and I said, Bros, what's the problem? He said, we're not worried. I'm going to surprise you. Today, he has not only surprised me, he has embarrassed me. Then he had two things going for him. He had the personality, one of his build. He also has Chatamaki. He can convince you to do whatever he wants you to do. I also told him, please, when you get there, don't forget your classmates, don't forget your schoolmates. I can assure you that about 80% of his crew were his schoolmates. Yeah. And they speak very well of him. Because I normally track all my students. Nebo and embarrassed.
Thank you very much.
By the grace of God, we get there.
Yes, sir.
We get, the sky is still your limit. You're not got there yet, you will still get there.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
I just like to say this has been an extraordinary session. My question is...
Tell us your name, please.
My name is Maya Davidja. And my question is regarding your creative process, sir. Is there a set way or does it just come as it does?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nawa Nawa, graduate from National Film Institute. I'm an upcoming actor, sir. And my question is, how do you deal with rejection, especially when you know that filmmaking, or whatever you put your mind to, is what you were born to do, and that's all you want to do. But some of us are just looking for one chance to prove ourselves, or get exploited instead. So how do you deal with that?
Number 3.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Clement Young. I noticed a few, I'm an upcoming artist also. I noticed a few problems with the movie sector in Plateau State. One of the problems is that those that feel they have arrived do not consider each other as partners. Rather, they are more interested in competition, when actually we are not there yet. And then, secondly, also, so many of the auditions that are being organized in Jos, you attend these auditions, many artists attend these auditions. Sometimes the projects get made, they never get aired. Sometimes the projects get aired, but artists are not appreciated by producers. So many times people come to Jos to produce, and then they tell you hear things like, we don't have money, but we're going to pay you just price. It's very unfortunate. So please, sir, my question is it possible in the near future that please, that maybe your company can set up an audition for us in Jos that love acting? I'm aware there's an audition in Abuja 5th and 6th, and I will be there by God's grace. Is there a way that you can put something like this for us in Jos? Because we trust you.
Can you go straight to it? Thank you.
Okay, so the first question was about creative process. Every creative head must have a creative process. And it's simply how you come up with your ideas, how you come up with how to execute your ideas. For example, for me, I suck up a lot of other people's ideas. What it means is that I watch a lot. Like I can literally sit down for an entire week just watching television movies, because that is where you see what people are doing. So that's the first point of the creative process for me. I suck up other people's ideas. For people, there are other people that love to read. Reading is very important because it makes you create your own world. Mine is different because if I watch, the world has already been created, and so I have to see through what has already been created. But for books, when you read, you imagine your own world, and that helps with your creative process. So it starts from observing others. That's for me. And so when I get an opportunity to work on a project, the first thing that comes to my mind is, how do I tell a story that's different from everything else that I've seen? Because if you're not exposed to what's around you, you definitely will not know what to say or what to write. And the other thing also is that as a creative head, it's very, very important that you're out there. Okay, you might be an introvert, say to yourself, I don't like going out, I don't know people, but how do you know things? How do you know what's happening? For me, if I'm telling stories and I'm creating characters, they are a reflection of people that I've seen. A lot of the characters I create are friends that I know, people that I've seen and related with. And these are experiences that just builds you. Some of the scenes that I build into these things are scenes that are things that I have experienced personally. So it helps with the process. If as a creative, so I'm talking about creative people now, that you cannot isolate yourself and expect to know things. Of course, you can bury yourself in the world of books, magazines, and observation, but there's something about personal experience also that helps with the creative process. So that happened. I remember in 2019, I had a conversation with my wife. So she now asked me, she said, so what's your 2019, what do you call it?
New resolution.
New resolution. I said to her, I'm going to do me. She said, oh, my friend, what does that mean? I said, sweetheart, I am old. Like everything I know is old, like it's past experience. I've not met new people, I've not hung out with long time, I've not done things, and I can be telling stories in this time and age, and I don't know what the thing is. So I started having conversations with a lot of young people. I started going to places to meet people. That way, when I'm writing and I'm structuring, it helps me. So one of the things that I would advise and encourage creating is know your environment, know the people that you are with, know what's happening, feed yourself. Because when you start to produce or you start to create, all of these experiences help in you building. But when you are creating, then the the genius in you, the creative in you now begins to look for angles in which you can tell your story differently. Do you understand? It's very, very key. That's very, very important for me. And so everything else falls in place after that. And then for me, I keep saying to people, 99.9% of the time, pre-production is filmmaking. Everything else that you execute when you're filming is things that you prepared before. You can never be in the middle of making a goosey soup and that's where you're going to buy a goosey in the market. Will that work? You can't start making soup and then you realize that, oh, I need to go to the market to go and buy a goosey for the soup that you're making. No. You've already gone to the market, you have got the ingredients, you have done all the cutting, now you are mixing it. 99.9% of the time. I have a production that's happening in September. I'm already working on it now. I'm already casting, I'm already checking the location because I can't come to September and everything is hanging on me. So that's how it works for me, for creative process. Sorry, I have to rush on because there's so many other.
Yeah, we don't have time.
How do you deal with rejection? I don't think I have an answer for that. Because people are different. There are some people that can't handle rejection. And there are some people who are tough enough to handle and keep coming back. But you see, in this creative industry, it takes only one moment for you to join. And you blow. Just that one moment. I tell you a story about Chisom Agbo who plays Halita. She wasn't even going to come for the audition that got her Halita. The day she was tired, said to herself, I've been to all of these auditions. As a matter of fact, she had been to 3 of our auditions. I did not even know. I didn't even recognize her. For her, it was that every time I go for these people's audition, they never pick me. What's the point? Somebody convinced her and said, just go. The moment she walked into that room, the moment she stepped in, I knew that was Halita. Because I already, you don't understand, see them there now. We are already 100% the character, if I use the word. Yeah, we had written everything that we wanted this character to be. And the moment Chisom stepped in, I knew this was Halita. I'd never met her from anywhere. Nothing I've ever done here. I had been to audition, I didn't even remember how to recognize her. But the moment she auditioned, we knew that was it. 99% of the people who were on that show all got from auditions. I didn't know them from anywhere. Nobody paid me money to do anything. I did not speak with any girl to go and give her a role. I'm saying it now, I'm a producer, but it's everybody who producers are like that. But I'm telling you for a fact that we walked into an audition and all of them had the same problem. I keep coming, nobody is taking it, but the day it happened for them, that was it. So I can't tell you how to deal with rejection because I to be honest with you, I don't accept no for an answer. I keep pushing. It took me 6 years for African Magic to notice me and call me for a job. In those 6 years, I kept on. They would reply me and say, sorry, I'm not going to be your pitch because I did not ask you for it. The day I went to African Magic for the meeting for Halita, they all gathered in that conference room. I wish somebody was there to tell me. They came and I said, oh, this is Dimbo. Oh, you are the Dimbo. But they were all tired of me sending pictures every day. Today, I can sit down here and have a conversation with Usola, who heads Africa Magic Multi-Choice Africa. I just have a chat with her. If I want, I can call her before National Assembly. 6 years I was chasing. They insulted me, there was one girl that called her this, but nobody liked her. She was so mean. She would write one mean reply. But I'm telling you. So I know what you're talking about. See, my friends are here. Monica, Abila, Facha, please start to stand up. Guys, stand up. See, you see these guys, if you know the number of proposals, hospital that we possibly this. No, see them, I'm not even joking. Places we went to, there was one that they even collected the name. Collected so much money on our idea, and they gave us 40,000 naira to come out. There was nothing we didn't see. I said to you guys that my break came at the age of 40. May not be your portion in this. Amen. You will break early. But for me, it took a long time before somebody saw it. If I had given up there, I don't know what would have happened to me. But I never give up. So my advice to you is never give up. Keep pushing. And if they are not going to open the door for you, look for one space and build your own door. It's as simple as it is. The other thing that you must also do is, I talked about social media. Always post a monologue and tag every producer in this world, everybody. Create a special page for yourself on Instagram for your monologues. Just everybody that you know that is a producer, one day somebody will say, oh, I like what this guy is doing, find him for me. That's how it works. So don't isolate yourself. Don't wait for anybody to see, bulldoze your way and get it. That's what I can say to you. Competition in the industry circle. Artists never get appreciated. Is it possible to set up audition in jobs? See, my guy, that is the industry. It is dog eat dog in this industry. But I can confidently tell you that when you find your rhythm, sorry, I need to see the person that asked this question because you're not giving sorry sometimes. No, see that's okay. I want to have a very honest conversation with you.
TV, come on.
I think that the first money anybody ever paid me to do a job was 70,000 naira. And I'm going to say this to you right now. And it's not because I want to boast about it. I am worth 10 million for every project that I do right now. That is my value. I'm paid 10 million naira. I'm saying this and I'm not boasting. I just want you to understand from where I'm coming from. Yes, I am worth 10 million naira right now for every project that I'm hired to do. And I'm not boasting. If you want, I can call you, I'll show you my income, you will see. But I just want you to understand something. But I was paying 70,000 naira at some point. But I had to build value to get to a point where I sit down at the table with you and I tell you this is how you're going to pay me. You can't argue it. You have to build value. I get it, it's frustrating. Don't be in a hurry. Keep building. Because you get to a point where when you build, they will look for you. My guy, I was sitting at the other day, I got a mail from Amazon Prime. I have a big session with the executive of Amazon Prime in February. I didn't ask for it. They're looking for young producers to go ahead and do new deals with. Do you know where I'm coming from? It had to be that somebody had mentioned me somewhere. I said, oh, if you're looking for the future, if you're looking for people to do this, how I got into Africa, like I said, 6 years I was chasing them. One day they brought a young lady from Kenya, Rispa. Rispa came to Nigeria to become the head of production in Africa Magic. And the moment she got in there, the first thing she did was that there was one man that had a monopoly. He was the one that was doing everything. And when she got in there, she said, why is one person doing everything? No, I can't do this. She decided, look for the youngest producers around and bring them for me. I'm going to split this work and give them let them do. That's how I'm sitting down telling myself. They now called me and said, oh, take something, somebody's calling you. And now I went to go and meet Musola. The moment I walked into her office, if you see me, I baffled. No, now, they were not going to do my television. I walked in there, looked at this woman in the eye and told her, you are going to bring this production to Abuja. She said, why? I said, because in Abuja, I have jobs, Kaduna, Benue, so many young people who are roaming around that don't have the opportunities. If we do it in Abuja, they won't have to go to Lagos. You're going to build an army of producers. I told them, I said, if I fail, I'm going to pay you back every call. Wow. She said, no, Dimbo Atiya. I said, no, man, write and affidavit, whatever you're writing now, I'm signing. If I don't deliver this year, I'll give you back the money. I created value. I created work from nothing. And I can say, I sound like a, what do you call them now, all those motivational speakers. No, I'm telling you my experience. So they will come and they will use your head, but they will never take that thing that belongs to you, which is the creativity and the craft that you have. Keep building it. Go for the auditions. You are an actor also. Have monologue sessions. I'm putting them on social media. It's just your data that is required. Tag everybody that you know. Kenneth Jan, all these producers that you know, directors that you know.
Hello everyone. My name is Ibrahim Isaji. I'm a photographer. And my question is this. When you started, what was your specialty? I'm sure you just didn't jump into directing or producing. I believe maybe you started with a specialty on set. I would like to know what that was and how you worked your way up to being a director and producer.
Next.
Hello, good afternoon, sir. I want to start by saying, my name is Christian.
Please go straight to your question because of time factor.
Okay. Straight to the question. So many of us, not especially young upcoming producers, we have so much, we have so many job stories, people penny stories we have written, and there are
so many things that must have happened in the past, experiences of writing so many stories about just the Middle Belt. And due to one or two things that happen in the Middle Belt and just, how do we shoot these stories to the world? How do we make it? How do we make a lot of people know about our stories in the Middle Belt? Thank you.
Next.
Thank you. My name is Joseph Sunday. Production is a huge job. How do you handle the leadership, considering the different personalities and the different people you have to work with? And then how do you know which idea you should stay on, and how do you stay on an idea till you bring it to completion? Like it started, all these movies you produce started as an idea. How do you know that this is the right one? And how do you stay through it to the end?
Okay, we'll answer these questions and then we'll move for the next three.
But this is what I was going to do. Even how I jumped into the creative industry was by listening. I was expelled from school, I had to go stay at home, and I started my journey of journalism. That's where I discovered that I had creative juices. But by the time I went to this, I realized that I wanted to make films. How, to be honest, I can't tell you. But I thought that I was a film director. That was what I thought I was going to be. So I started, working towards becoming a film director. So when I took up to the New York Film Academy, I started training as a director. So I came back to Nigeria and I found out that there were limited directors that were sought after. Like I had to do a bunch of work for people to start trusting me with so much. And I said to myself, well, how long am I going to do this? And I said to myself, you're good in organizing things. I told you that I need to organize shows in this town. You were good in putting people together, and I discovered that that's one of the strongest characteristics of a film producer or a producer. So I went back to the New York Film Academy, this time with the Agnew grant, and I went to study as a producer. So when I came back, I realized, okay, so double threat. First of all, I can direct, now I'm a producer. So that was where I decided I was going to put. So you see, the thing about the creative heads is that we know so many things, that we know how to do everything, and that has always been our problem. The fact that you know how to do everything does not mean that you have to do everything. So if you focus on that one thing that you wake up and you know you can do excellently, that is good. Then the other ones become bonus to the things that you can do. You see me, I style production. You can't come and do costume for me because I know everything about styling and costume. Every show that I've done, I have styled the characters myself. I only hire people to execute it. I'm an art director. That means that I can turn this place into a palace because I'm an art director. I know how to do art directing. Sound design, every scoring that you have in every production I've done, I've scored myself. Except, of course, Halita, she does that. But in all the things, I was the one that sat down, selected music for everything because I know how to do that. And I also direct my productions. But my core competence, the one that I always write out there and say I'm a producer. So if you find out one that you're comfortable, you do it ease without people telling you how to do it. You find ideas about how to do it. That's the one that you should focus on. Then you can build the other ones for you, support the one that you know how to do. Does that answer you? Okay, let me quickly run to that. How do you sell the your story? That's you see, you guys. You see, the conflict that happened in this town, it is a gold mine of stories that people are waiting for you people to tell. And do you know how? There are so many competitions out there, so many grants out there that are giving money for storytelling and conflict resolution. You have to research these things. Who is granting money for film or stories that have to do with conflict resolution? So are we telling stories about how the crisis affected us from both sides? Is there a story that we're telling about? I have a story called Peace of the Heart and it's set in Jaws, and it's a story about the conflict. We're developing that. But then that's just one story out of so many that I've heard. It's a gold mine of stories. So if you want the world to hear you, it is, as a matter of fact, sir, I think that this competition that we're doing, the two people who are going to win this competition will tell the story about the conflict that happened in Jaws. And that's why I'm glad to tell. Because if we're going to sell, if we're going to take the stories out to the International Film Festival, that's the one way that we can sell the story. We'll start from Africa. Africa this year, those two films will go for Africa this year. That's our promise. So there's so many ways that you can do Talents are out there. Please, when you have your phone, don't just be reading TikTok. Also research who is giving that graph to young filmmakers in Africa. I have a young lady that I trained, her name is Nawa Nawa. She was also sitting down and Netflix was looking for stories that were doing with UNESCO. They were reimagining cocktails. So you know the story that they told when we were young, and then the cocktail started from something and broke his, that's how they broke his back. They were looking for stories that you could reimagine in this place and this time. And Nawa sent in the beach. She's been selected. She's going to South Africa in another 10 days to go and pitch the final idea. She wins it. She gets a Netflix grant to tell the story. And her story is set in her village in Abuja and Lagos. If you hear the names of the characters, this, that, something. I was so impressed. But that's how you tell the story to the world, sir. Thank you very much. That's a big one. How do you handle leadership, stay on an idea? How do you know it's the right thing? Okay? You know what I'm saying? That is also one of the biggest problems that creates it. You know, me, I used to do something like Mr. Trump project, and it would be shocking me. And then one idea went that the following day, that one has suffered. And I started doing this one. But I got born again. I got delivered on that day when I did a project with British Council. And I learned a lesson of how you have to start a project and see it to the end. Measure it so that the next time you're doing another one, you can do it better. What I decided to do was number every set of that are doing with other ideas. When I find out one idea that excites me, and you have every element of it working, and don't forget that for you to have an idea that excites you, you have to have the element that makes it work. Because if you're, as a filmmaker, so I'm talking as a filmmaker now, I don't jump into a project that I won't see it working. There's none of the projects that I put my hands in as failed. They have all been successful. Halita was the second most watched TV show on Showmax in 2019. Currently, the Rishantes is the second most watched locally made show on African Magic multi-choice. PSB. Of course, you see all the laurels that we're getting will still follow. Still follow the movie that came out until today, but we recognize as and so far we've not been acquired by Amazon. So the thing is, you have to look at the project and say to yourself, what are the elements of this project that work? For example, sir, I need to spend this time. If you're going to do a movie, first of all, you must apply the principles. Every principle that you know that has to do with marketing, selling, and doing a business, you have to bring it to the fore. Because you can't just wake up and say, oh, I want to do a movie. What kind of movie do you want to make? So we did drawing strength, and we put it up on YouTube for free. We didn't understand why God wanted us to do this. Spent about 15 million. Amazon just acquired that too. We spent about 15 million to make that movie over a period of almost 4 years. And we put it up on YouTube. And in 1 year, it made 600,000 hits. So we went back and checked the YouTube analytics. You guys know that there's something like that. If you go to YouTube, it tells you who has seen it, gives you every statistic that you need to know. So we went there and we checked and we found out that it is 18 to 25. 80% of them women were the ones that watched the movie more. And then there were guys. Instantly, all those statistics were the reasons why we went to the drawing board and wrote Still Falling. So when we decided we were going to do Still Falling, we knew who we were telling the story for. 18 to 25 young girls. You know why? Those are the ones that tell their boyfriends, honey, let's go watch a movie. Guys don't go to cinemas. Do you stand up and just say, let's go watch a movie? It's not your way that's driving you class. So we knew that if we went to the cinema, this category of people would be the one that would drive their boyfriend. And you know that when you're going, not just only you are good. Like sisters are coming, friends are coming. So a whole entourage of 5 people will end up, or that really keep and fight. When we realized that, the first thing that we said is, so, if these are the girls that are coming to see, who do they want to see? And we did the research and realized that it was Daniel F.M. Young, handsome, he is school there in church. Young, handsome actor. And so we decided to cast Daniel F.M. And you know the thing is that we filmmakers, we sell fantasy. Yes. That's what we sell. In Nigeria, the people that we make, we sell fantasy. We said to ourselves, if you are going to put a co-character for Daniel and the girls will be jealous of, who will it be? Sharon, not that, because girl also. So we get Sharon and Daniel, and we told the story about love and forgiveness. But then the other thing that we decided that we were going to the cinema, it was going to be visually excellent. So we decided to shoot in the highest capacity of filmmaking. And we put it out in the cinema. No, 96 million we did in the cinema. This was in a pandemic period, it was a fake case. If it wasn't a pandemic period, we hadn't have done it. So we're staying with an idea. You must sit down and quantify how successful it's going to be. You can't just do anything and put it out there. You have to look at the dynamics of the market. Who is watching what are Nigerians interested in doing? I'm just saying, it could be anything that you want to, the solution that you're trying to provide. It could be anything, not just filmmaking. You have to look at the dynamics of how this thing is going to work. How am I going to sell this thing? Who is my target audience? You guys know that there is a 2-page newspaper, sport newspaper, that today sells in this country. And they sell it for 15 naira. That's football something, complete football. It's not 2 pages now, and they still sell it in this country, even with the phone that we have. Multiply 50 by 2 million. Let's say they sell 2 million copies. 50 naira. Multiply that by 2 million. That's 100 million. That's daily. It's not a weekly paper, it's a daily paper. So you see, the man has found a solution. Instant gist about football. And people are buying, and then he puts camera inside. You don't have to play it. It's inside the game. That's how he gets your attention. So, for me, simple answer is if you're going to stay with the project, take that one that you know that you can easily execute, and at the end of the day, don't go and do Dunia. That's the problem with creatives. We want to rule the world. No, find a space in the world and rule it. Then you expand. So start small. Nobody is saying that you cannot do big things. But if you do not, and if you are not responsible with the small, you can't progress in the big. The first film that I shot that I came out from Youth Academy is called Flip. It cost me 1.something million naira to do it. Now I'm going to do it, don't worry. But I had to invest in it because I wanted to try it in the industry. The second film that I did cost me 15,000 naira. So after I did the first one, I realized why it cost me that much. And then I now planned for the second one. It cost me 15,000 naira. See the dynamics. At the end of the day, I now realize how to work on cost, how to cut down things and do what I need to do. That's why I am where I am today. In terms of leadership and how we know people, I don't know, maybe it's a lesson. I am able to see through people when it comes to giving them responsibility for work. But you see, first of all, you must sell the vision to them. There is a vision that you carry as a person. You have to be able to sell that to your team. They cannot come with different divergent views about things and you think that you're doing it won't work. So if I'm going to hire you, first of all, you must align with the vision of how I do things. First of all, that excellence has to be there. It's very important that you hire people who understand it. People who can take simple instructions along with it. People who are proactive, they don't have to wait for you to give them orders. They know what to do and move forward. And then you will also know each and team. Every time I work with people, at the point I will have that maybe 150, 200 people on set working on the project. I know each and every one of them because I'm taking the responsibility to knowing them. So when there's a conflict, I'm not generalizing things. If there's a conflict, I sit down with the two of you and I know who you are, I know why it's happening, and we talk about it. And then there's a personality, I'm always relating with them one-on-one. We talk and we relate. So when they understand that there's leadership in what you're doing, they naturally will follow you. But make sure that you delegate. It's important that everybody is clear on what they do. Don't make something so that two people are clashing on one thing and they're fighting. No, you are a production manager, that is your job. Define it. You are an associate producer, this is your job. So that they're not clashing. Everybody has a responsibility. I hope I answered that.
They will eat food. Now that's also, it boils down to the economy. If you have people here who can rent equipment, that's also money that goes in. So if we can create this activity, and all people need to know is that just is safe. So bombard the internet, social media, let people know. Take beautiful pictures of this state. Give somebody the contract to go and do beautiful pictures of Jos. Do jingles that say we are fine and we're doing well. We are united and we're together. Trust me, people will start rushing into this place before. You see weather. In Lagos, when we're shooting, if you say somebody's sweating already, you will not stop, you will clean the sweat. In Jos, I can shoot for a whole day here, nobody will sweat 1 minute, which is perfect. With this kind of weather, I want to come here. So please, government should help us. We're not saying build a whole film village. No, if you can build it, it's fine. But we're just saying, let's create a better narrative for Plateau State. Let people know that we are free and we're going about our businesses and people can come and just safe. They can come and enter the bushes and shoot and go back and nothing will happen. That's all I'm saying.
I'm a part of your